Alright, we're back and we're doing the thing. Finally got what I've been talking about, pro car. I thought I was gonna do it with the GTR, and I kind of just don't feel like reinventing the wheel. And I love the 370 and the way it drives. So why not build something that we know works, proven, I have spare parts for, and yeah, I already love the chassis. So we got this thing about a day ago. We got the kit from Crown Carbon Crafting. We got doors, we got a hatch from Chris Forsberg. Feels like it's moving pretty fast, but that's just like the tip of the iceberg. There's honestly so much we gotta do. We gotta get a motor, trans, fabrication, paint, the list goes on and on. So we're gonna take a little walkthrough of it and just show you what we got so far. I'm in there. Yeah. See how dirty and messed up it is before the fact, you know? But yeah, basically we just got a shell, so it came with nothing. So all you see in the interior, that's about it. I think it's an automatic car. It's a real Nismo, so that's kind of cool. Came with like a cool Nismo brace in the back, and like I guess a couple things I didn't know like real Nismos had. Like I said, Chris already gave us it's a Sabon carbon hatch, and some of his old doors from FD. They have some battle scars, but we're kind of just using them more for mock-up. I don't think we'll actually end up running it. I think we'll probably end up getting new like dry carbon for the whole car. He was kind of telling us that that weighs a little bit less as well than the wet carbon, just because they're not putting the clear and all that stuff on top of it. So just kind of tips that you learn from the pros. It's kind of cool, and you know, we want to keep going with that and make sure this thing weighs, you know, as light as it possibly can. The last car is really heavy. The Pro-Am car is really heavy. The G's really heavy. The 370 is really heavy. So we're trying to make something that will be light, fast, and a real weapon. You know, I don't want to go to FD and spend all this money and sick have him ruin my video, you know.
Nice.
So we will be having like a couple different versions of the car. Tyler will be having a hatch that basically he's gonna fab up, and it's gonna be a little bit beefier, I guess that's a better way to put it, than the carbon hatch for a race factory wing. It's a swan neck wing. It's gonna be really big, aggressive. It's a brand new style. No one has them yet. It's gonna look really cool in the car, but the carbon hatch won't, you know, unless there's some type of reinforcement, they're really light and they're meant to be light and not have heavy things like that attached to them. So we're gonna use an OEM hatch, kind of modify that, and then we'll have this version, which will be like, I don't know, like a duckbill wing or something like that. But I'm gonna most likely run the race factory wing as much as possible. I put them on all my cars. I love the way they look. I think it's just that finishing touch. The Z's tend to have more of like a round, I guess, back of the car, and it kind of changes the body lines up a bit for me. I like it. It's a little bit more aggressive than, you know, just the smooth kind of downward angle that they have. This car will have hopefully a V8. That's what I'm kind of thinking. We are kind of looking at our options right now. This motion sensor light hates me. But yeah, so I've been looking into VR38s, talking to Chris Forsberg with stuff like that as well, just to set up, price-wise, kind of budget, you know, all that good stuff. Well, we already know the V8 works. We like it. It's kind of a little bit of a pain in the ass with the supercharger setup, so we're thinking more of like an NA 700-800 horsepower, maybe like sprint car style motor, something that's just turnkey, less moving parts, and just works. Maybe nitrous, I don't know, down the line, but I'm just thinking simple. That's what I want. So my glizzies are burning. Not the glizzies! Where did he put my spatula?
Should we just keep it going or what?
So honestly, we've been contemplating it. Verts are just way more lightweight. So we're thinking like if we take off the roof, we might be able to like cut the A-pillar here and you know, maybe cut it there and saving all the weight. And then you can get the air flowing through your hair, you know what I mean? I can't do it. This 370 for sure is going to be our best build to date, for the single fact that we are starting from the ground up. There's not going to be, you know, 5 or 6 different shops going through it and fixing other things that another shop has done, or not necessarily fixing, but changing to the way that they want to do it, you know. I had a lot of great shops and people actually work on the last car, so there's not anything like that I have to complain about, but it's just nicer having everything done from one, you know, person at the same time, because you kind of know, or that person knows, every single thing that's gone in and out of the car. So Tyler's going to be here throughout the whole process, from start to finish, so when things do go wrong, it's not a guessing game. You kind of know, you know, okay, well, it's either this or this. He can kind of knock out, you know, it's kind of more like diagnosing things, you know what I mean? It's like a doctor. They kind of know what they're working with a little bit better than just a new patient coming in they've never seen before, right?
We're all about, you know, elevating minds over here, so, you know, it's always good to learn new things. I'm pretty good at what I do, but there's always room to grow. Boring!
Back to what I was saying, David Ferrer, Everyone knows the guy. He's done wiring on a ton of Formula Drift cars. He's done Alec Honadell's car, which is a proven, you know, testament. He's won multiple events in FD as well as tons of clutch kickers events. So I mean, if he can do it on a pretty much similar setup, he even has the same supercharger as what we have with a 6.3, so it's almost same exact thing. I'm pretty, you know, confident that ours will work at the same amount of time. I think he even said that Alec, you know, left the chassis harness in there and maybe, you know, would check on the engine harness maybe once a year, but it's the same harness that's been in there for almost 5 years. So that's really cool, and that's good and makes me feel good that we're not going to be taking this thing apart and having to do that, you know, every season. So Crown Carbon Crafting is back on board and we're stoked. Another 50 mil kit. It actually is a real Nismo Z this time, so that's cool because the kit is made for a Nismo Z. My Z was a Sport, I think, or something like that, so I had to buy Nismo bumpers, and it's not like a real Nismo. So this one is a real Nismo. It's black. That's already better. It's a good base point. And yeah, we're stoked about it. We love this kit. It looks like an OEM fender, but it's just much wider for Weissfab and to fit a big tire on the rear. But I like that because it's like, it keeps the body lines of like what a Z is meant to look like. It's not something like some Duraflex kit or something that just like completely changes the look of the car. It looks like what a Z is supposed to look like, but a meaner, beefier, just angry version, and that's what I like about it, you know? I love the way Z's look. I don't want to take away from that. What I'm trying to do is add to that and make my aggressive style kind of come through on the car. And look at the gap. There's no gap. Don't look at that. There's no gap. But yeah, his kit fits, the kits fit great right out the box. There's no trimming like on the door lines or anything like that usually. And if there is, it's just gonna be small prep for paint, really. These, usually I wrap my stuff, actually no, I lied. The last car's painted. But we'll probably paint all of these black. That's what we're hoping to go for, is a black base on this car, and see what we do from there. Yeah, I don't know, I like looking at it, it's cool. I don't really know where to go next with this thing. We definitely have a couple questions for FD as far as the rule book for next year. I know things are supposed to change, like Woodward steering column I think it wouldn't be allowed in pro spec. There's a couple things, I don't really know all of it, but that's why we got to contact them and make sure everything that we are doing to this car is going to be FD legal. So like I said, we're not backtracking and cutting the car up or doing anything twice. No, I think that's about all I can think of right now as far as the update on this thing. We'll definitely keep you guys, you know, updated and try and get parts as soon as we can, but the main thing is just getting sponsors on board, and you know, once we get a motor for it and we can start doing fabrication, that's when kind of it starts coming along a lot faster, honestly. The main part is more like cutting the front off, cutting the back off, tubing it, getting all the tabs done for, you know, radiators and all that good stuff. Once that's kind of done, you can, you know, paint it and start throwing it all back together, and things kind of come along a lot faster from there. So today and yesterday we're more just throwing the body kit on for, you know, mock-up and to kind of just get stoked and show you guys, you know, what like we have planned in our heads. So yeah, excited about this build for sure. All right guys, Tyler over here, man, he's been working his ass off. We've been putting out content, we've been filming, which we like to do, and you know, he wants to see some likes, some subscribes. We need some followers, man. So yeah,
get it rolling.
Get it rolling. Help us out. But anyways, that's been our update video on this car. We have a bunch more updates coming to you soon. Please, you know, like, subscribe to the channel, and let us know what you think in the comments about these builds.
Hit the little bell. Hit the little bell right there.
Listen to the man. Thank you guys.